And good morning, Sun and Fun. Guess what? We are at Tail End Charlie on our morning brief programming. This is the last one for the week because on Sunday we got a whole bunch of people packing up, enjoying the last bit of the show, going to see the things that we wanted to see, and then heading home and getting ready for Oshkosh, of course. And for some of us, AEA on April 24th here in up in Orlando. So lots going on. Our sponsor of the day are the folks at Aero-X. If you want to breathe easy, you need to call Scott Ashton's folks. He did something really cool this year with a product called Boomula that was on our innovation preview on Tuesday. It is the most usable and convenient way to make sure you're getting oxygen when you need it and out of the way when you don't. So deeply appreciative of having them on board, along with the rest of the sponsors who managed to make sure that we all got lunch, yay, and even a dinner or two. So more power to them and more power to us as a result, and we certainly thank them. Let's talk a little bit about the weather. As if you noticed, I think Mr. Conrad had to sacrifice a few folks along the way because we've had blue skies on top of blue skies on top of blue skies, and oh yeah, blue skies. So it's been a great week, and it promises to keep on going till the end. And I don't know that we've had a Sun and Fun this good in quite some time. But today, intervals of cloud and sunshine, a high of 88, wind southwest at 10 to 20. Tonight, which, by the way, happens to be the night air show, which, as I understand it, and I hear a few rumors here and there, could be somewhat explosive. At any rate, mainly clear skies, low of 68, winds at 10 to 15 from the west, so good times for everybody. If you're looking for something to do, if Sun and Fun isn't enough for you and you want to take 5 or 10 minutes and get on your iPhone or your iPad or your PC or what have you, go take a look at Aero-News. Every April 1st for the last 26 years, we have a little fun. We take ourselves and our job very seriously 364 days out of the year. But on April 1st, we have fun. And this year's episode has things like the 1/8 scale open cockpit A380. We just, of course, the FAA's decision on new pronouns for airplanes, and a variety of other interesting stories that are frankly full of malarkey. But we have a lot of fun putting it together. We start about 6 weeks out, sit around. There may be certain kinds of liquid refreshments involved, and start dreaming ideas for how to have some fun with aviation, and frankly, tug at everybody a little bit and just say, yeah, maybe so. We shall see. So anyway, let's talk about what we want to do for the day. First things first, we have a crew of videographers who just scoured the grounds, went around, had a good time with looking at airplanes, but they also look at the people. They ran into an interesting fellow by the name of Hans. They liked meeting Hans, and we think you'd like meeting him too. So let's take a look at Hans at Sun and Fun. Take it away, Nathan.
For me, aviation is a continuous open invitation that life is to be developed, that you can always be or become more in life. Flying and learning to fly and learning a life never stops. I use aviation to inspire and aspire the young generation. And if they want to become a YouTuber, that's fine. I'm not here to make pilots. If they want to become a pilot, that's fine. I'm here to say you have to become something. And if it's a pilot, it's fine. If something else is also fine. And I think that's the big, for me, that it's the big present from aviation that's partly uncovered and unseen that we can give to that new generation. I've been in aviation for more than 45 years. I've gotten so many presents, met so many beautiful people and got so many gifts from life that it's time, it's payback time. I need it's too much. I take some from me. Yeah, that's why. Aviation is real mythology, real-time mythology. And I'm conveying the stories of all those aviators, millions of the past, that don't have the mouth anymore to tell that to the new generation. And using my qualities, what that is, to do that. And mixing the technical story with the human story. And the real story of aviation is always a story more about people than about planes. Showing that at least this is my attempt to talk from the heart, and whatever you do, you should also do that from the heart. Storytelling is as old as mankind, and I was again inspired by Joseph Campbell, the greatest storyteller of the last 100 years, and I'm a little bit of a student of him. Find me on Facebook and on Instagram, and I'm open to invitations to go somewhere in the States to tell my story.
Alrighty, folks, we're back, and if Hans isn't a hoot, who is? A long time ago, Paul Poborezny told me it's not the planes, it's the people. And this was something he said over and over again. People actually kind of got tired of hearing it. I never did, especially since I had the privilege for many years of sitting down in Red One and spending a half hour to an hour just riding around Oshkosh each year. It was kind of an annual thing, and just meeting people and seeing all Paul's buddies and new buddies, and people just come up and say, hey, I want to meet Paul Poborezny and so forth, and you felt like $1 million because you was there in the right seat with Paul. And he wasn't kidding, and he was absolutely right to this day. It's not the planes, it's the people. The planes are cool, people are cooler. Let's take a moment now. We have so many people who have made Airborne and Aero-News and the Sun and Fun Digital Daily, and oh yeah, did I mention the Sun and Fun Digital Daily at SNFDD.com? And the Morning Brief, and the Innovation Preview, and Sport Plane Resource Guide, and all the other crazy things we do to avoid getting honest jobs. But they make it possible for us to do all this. We can't thank them enough. So a little bit of crass commercial messaging, and we'll be right back.
The Aero-News Network Sun and Fun Digital Daily Morning Brief, live from Lakeland, Florida, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
It's toxic to fly hypoxic. Smart pilots want their oxygen close at hand, so they're never impaired. That's why Aerox is proud to introduce the Boomula, the first headset-mounted oxygen-conserving cannula designed to make hypoxia impairment obsolete. The Boomula easily attaches to any headset and can be used with almost any portable or installed oxygen system. Find the Boomula at leading Aerox distributors or at aerox.com.
Vantage is Avidyne's family of all-new flight display systems for retrofit and forward-fit applications. Initial certification will be Vantage 12, retrofit glass for legacy Cirrus aircraft. Vantage 12 brings advanced capabilities and adds new life to Cirrus aircraft, including large 12-inch diagonal hybrid touchscreen displays, 3D synthetic vision, and split-screen capabilities. Additional Vantage programs will be announced in the future.
And we're back, and saving the best for last, we've got Sun and Fun's boss of bosses, at least this year. When we got the word some time ago that Lights was retiring, we had all kinds of worries and all kinds of concerns because we developed a good relationship and a good working program with them. And then Lights called me while I was up in the Carolinas with my family on a little bit of a sojourn and said, I want to let you know Gene Conrad's taking my place, at which point I went, yeah, of course. And we were tremendously pleased. Gene, welcome to Morning Brief, and been doing anything this week?
Well, first of all, thanks, Jim. Appreciate you guys and your team, and welcome to the 49th Annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo. We're in day 5. It's been a great week and super, super busy, and I'm tired. No, but it's been great. We've obviously had perfect weather, which helps tremendously. But we're up 25% this year. I mean, that's where we're at right now, and Saturday's our big day, so we're seeing big numbers, lots of airplanes, lots of changes, though, this year, right? So the majority of everybody's happy with, the changes or whatnot, but, it's, new. Some things are new and change is difficult, but, everything we're doing this year and wanting to get these changes in place is anticipation for next year, which will be our 50th Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo. So, we'll go back, we'll debrief, everybody's taking plenty of notes, and we'll come out even better next year, but it has been a phenomenal week for us, and just appreciate all the support and all the guests and the 2,500 volunteers that help us put on this great event.
What's the big surprise for you? When you walked into this, you certainly had expectations, but now, most of the way through the gig, any big surprises?
Well, I guess, I've been here for over a year now. So last year when, Lights retired on the last day, but I came 30 days before. So I had an opportunity to just go around and talk to, guests and vendors and exhibitors and, and whatnot and listen. And, took a lot of notes, but I think the most difficult thing is running a business, or like when I ran the airport here at Lakeland, I get to do it every single day. I get to operate every single day and refine and get efficient and, fix things and whatnot. Here, we can plan, think we're doing the right things. We got 6 days to operate, and then we put it back in a box. It is super difficult. And I've only got a team of 40 folks, and then again, our great 2,500 volunteers come in. But it's a hard thing, because when you think about the logistics, air traffic, vehicle traffic, transportation on site, RVs, tents, campers, porta potties, potties servicing all these things, food trucks, U.S. Foods, and having to, go and service all the chalets and whatnot. It's a logistical challenge, but, considering all of those things, I mean, we do a good job, but, we'll fix the things for next year, and I'm sure there'll be some things next year we need to fix after that. So, but, it's just a continuous improvement, but it's been a tremendous, tremendous year for us.
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
I know, right? I know, but again, and some of the new things, especially the island, for example, out there on the east side, or, in there with vintage and home built and all the general aviation camping and parking areas, it has been very, very well received. It has been very busy all week, but it was our hub, and we had talked about it on Airborne in the past, because, we want to have food and beverage out there, and we had that, the Pilot Welcome Center, the Island Store, tram operation, new tram depot out there, Uber, Lyft drop off, all those service shower houses right there, as well. So it's been great and very, very well received, and it's done very, very well. We didn't know it was going to happen. Yeah. Were two people going to walk in, but it's been thousands. Even the movies in the evenings, the first night, Tuesday night, we had 100 people out there watching Top Gun. So I was just standing there grinning ear to ear. So a lot of great successes this year, and and I believe our exhibitors, from what I've heard, are doing bang up business as well this week. So that's great.
That's the input we've been getting, is that folks are definitely coming in and they've saved up their money. They're looking for what they want, and they're choosing between A and they're choosing between B, but by and large, they're leaving cash on the table somewhere.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. I mean, our exhibitors, they are here 500 plus strong, because of all of our aviation lovers and enthusiasts that are here each year. And so, we need to do the right things, from an organizational standpoint, of the services standpoint, to make sure we're providing those services to the flying guests, because those are the customers. Again, and it's a lot of focus on the flying, but also parking this year. I mean, knock on wood, it's our big day, but parking's worked really, really well for, and flowing everybody in this year. And even though we're up big, that's been working. But this is the big test today, because it's Saturday, it's our biggest day. But, it's been great, and we really appreciate, again, all the support. And our innovation preview Tuesday morning at 10:30 was phenomenal. Lots of great feedback, lots of great information, and just appreciate you and your team for helping us put that together.
What was fun about that was reaching out to some of the competitive publications and chatted with them a little bit and let them know that everything's available to them, yada, 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 and all that. And I said, but keep in mind, for over the next 2.5 hours, you get your whole week's worth of work done. And everybody's smiling and go, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, and even the new media center that's behind the old Pilot Mall building, now Prop 75, that's been well received as well, because, they were up further, they're further south on the site, a little harder to get out here, an extra, 100, 500-600 yards to get out here or whatnot, but they're in close proximity now of everything that's going on, so that's been well received as from our media folks. So it's been great. But great week, and again, 50th Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo next year, April 9th through the 14th. So put it on your calendars, and get ready for that one. It's going to be big for us.
I'm looking forward to it. Can you give us any hint at this stage of the game what the 50th portends?
Again, we want to get all these changes in place this year because, for any entity to make it 50 years, especially not for profit, or any business, we're going to celebrate our organization, our volunteers, and, our history and where we've come from. And, my goal, for example, for the Warbirds is get one of every type of everything that's flying today. Those are the types of special things, bring back grand champions, home-built, vintage, seaplanes, whatever, and get all those aircraft back and have and celebrate, and have a great time and get some cool airplanes in here and that people like to see and have another big party.
Are you talking? Any favorites so far? From everything you've seen here, any favorites? I mean, personal Gene stuff here.
It's kind of hard to say because it's been a little bit stressful for me. So usually when I'm up at AirVenture, and I've volunteered up there for the last 34 years, my favorite's the Tiger Cat. I love that. I work airshow operations, and when it sits there, it's just, when it's idling, and I love that. It gets my heart pumping. But I will say my T-28s are one of my favorites as well. I just love them and the sound, and but I love all the airplanes. It's spectacular, and I will say home-built numbers are up big time this year as well. So it's been great to see. A little bit of resurgence and hopefully more next year.
I was a little afraid that a lot of folks got stuck up in the peninsula getting in here from weather, but apparently it's cleared up enough and everybody showed up sooner or later.
Yes, they did, and I think it cleared up there, north of us about Wednesday. So it's been great, and again, there's some challenges here and there, but overall it's been a very, very successful week. And the big thing too is the net proceeds from what we generate here go back into our year-round youth aviation educational programming, the other 51 weeks out of the year, with our high school, our summer camp programs, the Lakeland Aero Club, our high school flying club, our A&P facility that's here, Skylab Innovation Center. We're literally bringing every fifth grader in Polk County, which is 7,500 of them, through our Skylab, our hands-on STEM-based laboratories attached to the Florida Air Museum, next year, and just get these kids involved early. And for us, that's what it's all about. And our mission is to engage, educate, and accelerate the next generation of aerospace professionals, and that's what we're going to be doing.
That's how you rebuild an industry.
There you go. And we can only do so much, right? But we all got to pull together, and we're doing our part. But we all need to do more to make sure we have people that are going to be here 50 years from now and attending this event. So we all need to pull together and invest as best as we can into our youth.
Will you still be running it 50 years from now?
I don't know if I'll be living in 50 years. So, but one thing I would like to say too, there's been a lot, with this airport, as I was the airport director for 12 years, lots of concern or conversation about Amazon or the growth of the airport or the new runway. A couple things is, one, Amazon's been a great partner. They don't own the airport, they're not taking over, so everybody doesn't need to worry about that. And the other thing is too, with the new runway, what's driving that? Everybody's like, well, it's Amazon. Well, actually, it's not. When I arrived in 2010, we did 64,000 operations a year. Last year in 2022, this airport did 143,000 operations. 8,000 is Amazon. The rest of it is flight schools and general aviation activity, which is what we want. But if the airport's hitting its capacity levels, because what happens when the flight schools go up in the morning and they start beating up the pattern, it basically makes 523, the crosswind, useless. Right, so we're a one-runway airport at that point. Some days we're running 600 to 700 operations. So in order to keep growing, the amount of air traffic in and out of this facility, that parallel is going to be important. But that runway is also going on top of the existing taxiway delta, right? And then the southern edge of the new taxiway will be on the north side of the Warbird ramp. So we're not going to get pushed down so far like we originally had thought. So it's going to be good. And the runway and any of that work, we're talking 10 to 12 years away from that happening. Right, so there's a lot of work that has to be done by the airport. I was very close to it, obviously, but it's a ways out. But we are going to do our part, but start planning for some of the shift that we'll have to do over time. But we're going to maintain the hospitality and the feeling of this event moving forward. So
the future of Lakeland, bigger, badder, better.
bigger, better, and more efficient. And and again, when you look at some of the aircraft parking areas, it's challenging out there too, because we're in Florida. It rains a lot here, so there are a lot of swales.
No, really?
Yeah. In the summer, it just deluge every day. But there's a lot of swales and ditches and stuff like that. But over time, we can start to change, and we've done that even before. In the general aviation parking area this year. When we put in Taxiway Sierra, the new north-south over there by Polk State College Aerospace. The intent was to create new parking areas, which we did this year and been utilizing. It's working very, very well. But when this new construction comes through over that period, we'll be fixing the grounds too to make it as efficient as possible. All these ditches and weird things just doesn't make it efficient, but it's going to be great over time.
Last question, and this is the biggie. Are you glad you took the job?
I am. I'm having, it's stressful. I will tell you, Monday morning, I was freaking out a little bit. Felt the weight of the world was on my shoulders.
I remember.
Yeah, because I wear it, because I love it, and I'm very passionate about it. I was born in Oshkosh. Been up there every year to AirVenture, every, last 34 years volunteering. And, my dad was an airport director, and he ran Oshkosh when I was a kid. So I love this stuff. And, but it's been a great, great week. And, I'm just so proud of my team and all the volunteers and how they rally and put this thing together. It's absolutely impressive.
Well, I can tell you from the standpoint of the folks that we work with directly, and the first time we had to do it in this way for the innovation preview, your folks did a great job. They were easy to work with. Nathan, a couple days out, I'm going, well, should we be worried? Are we this? Are we that? He says, man, no sweat. They got it. Yeah. And basically, if you want to have a motto for this year's Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo, they got it.
Hey, well, I appreciate it. They got it because we got a boatload of getter-doners, boatload of them, and we love them, so thank you.
Gene Conrad, Sun and Fun boss of bosses, and we're looking forward to the 50th in a little bit over a year, and we'll be there. We'll be there with Innovation Preview and Digital Daily and whatever else we can dream up.
Yeah, who knows what else? Look how much we got done in 1 year, so who knows what it will be, but it will be great.
Oh, yeah, scare me. Thanks, pal. Yeah. My buddy, my pal. Yeah, no problem. Let's just up the game. Yeah. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, Jim, and appreciate your team. Thanks for everything this year.
They did great work, and it's, frankly, an easy place to do great work. Thanks again.
Thanks, Jim.
All righty.
Take care.
All righty, folks. Let's have a little bit of educational experience here. The folks at King Schools, specifically John, Martha, and Barry, do a scholarship every year, and how they select and where they find some of these really great people that ultimately get these scholarships is just stunning. They've got this marvelous girl from Nigeria. She came out here with her daughter, and she's just done phenomenal work overall in building a career, and the King Scholarships went to her. Let's take a look at what the King Schools Scholarship Program looks like, and more important, the person who won it. Take it away, Nathan.
One of my friends sent in the NAFI King School Scholarship to the group, and I was thinking, okay, I might be a little bit late, but then when I read the requirements, I'm like, you know what? Let me just try and see how this goes, because I was just applying for scholarships and I was hoping that I would get it. Okay. So I applied. We had the interview and we spoke for a really long time, had a beautiful conversation. We talked about my journey, talked about their journey, and we just, it was just pretty much a match made in heaven. And then they told me, you're our winner and we want to be part of your life going forward, so you're not going to get rid of us. And in my head, I'm like, so happy. For me, for one, I really didn't, like I said, I didn't think I was going to get to this point. I didn't even think I was going to get my private. Now I'm getting the CFI. I want to get the CFI, CFII, MEI. I'm hoping to get a gold seal. I'm going to work really hard at that. And then in the next couple of years, I'm hoping to start a flight school of my own. I feel like I've had a lot of experience. I went to 3 different flight schools. And over the course of the years during my training, I had different experiences at those flight schools and with different instructors. And that is one of the reasons why I'm really, really particular about getting my CF and CFII, because I feel like sometimes when people teach, they teach just to get the hours, and what they fail to realize is they are imparting someone's life that is going to go ahead and, with that training, go into the world to be an airline pilot or whatever journey they choose to go on. I feel like it's really, really important for whoever you meet first as an instructor to just be kind. You know what I mean? Be kind, teach properly, you know, get to understand who your student is and tailor whatever it is that you're teaching to that student, you know, just to get the very best of that student. So that's one of the reasons why I am so, like, I'm pumped up to be an instructor so bad, because, and then I'm pumped up to also have my flight training school, because I feel like I want to make a difference, especially how aviation is taught. Yeah.
And we're back on the grounds of the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo for 2023, just off the Compass Rose Central and near the ANN headquarters building and Elevate and the rest of the facilities here. Used to be the old Sun and Fun admin building, so there's a little bit of history in there, and man, if those walls could talk. At any rate, let's talk about air shows. We got 2 today, not one, not just one, and a big one it is, but we have one during the day and one at night. And both are just going to be bang-up enterprises. 1:30 to 5:30 p.m. is today's air show schedule. Starts out, of course, with the national anthem, as all air shows should. SOCOM Paracommandos will be jumping in, circled by Kevin Coleman and the Extra 330. Kevin will be performing. He's one of our X-Prize buddies. Kyle Franklin in the Piper Cub. Jim Peets in the F-33C Bonanza. Lee Louderback in P-51 Crazy Horse. And I got to tell you, that's a ride. I've spent a little bit of time in it, and that is a fun airplane. Warbird show, various warbirds. In other words, that you want it, they got it. The U.S. Air Force, yay. Let's shout out to my peeps. F-35A demo team with the F-35A and a P-51 flying in formation. The United States Marine Corps F-35B, that's the VSTOL version, will be showing up and doing their thing, and that's a great-looking demo. Mike Goulian is here with the Extra 330 SC. And then, of course, a little team that, you know, someday may wind up making a name for themselves, the United States Navy Blue Angels. And they have been beating up the field with certain ferocity this week and having a pretty good time. Tonight, and if you take a look around you, it's going to be a great night for an air show. 7 to 9 p.m., the national anthem and the SOCOM Paracommandos will be jumping at night. Night jumps are fun, by the way. Black Fly will be flying. The Aeroshell Aerobatic team, and boy, are they lit up. Manfred Radius in his glider, and Manfred does a night show that's unlike anything you've ever seen because, again, unpowered aircraft, glider, the whole bit. Jerry Kirby in his RV-8. Kyle Fowler in the Long Easy. Redline air shows in the RV-8s. Nathan Hammond in the de Havilland Chipmunk, one of the nicest flying airplanes of all time. Phenomenal control harmonies. And then the Pyro Musical. And when they say pyro, they mean pyro. And I mean serious pyro. So if you're not here, you should be. If you can be, come on in. Do not miss today's air show, tonight's air show, and anything else that you can find time for here at the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo, because this is the A ticket right now, boys and girls. We talked off and on throughout the weeks about the forums and different things that we thought you might pay attention to, but there's no way we can pay attention to them all. So let me just put in a pitch right now for this. Go look at the Sun and Fun schedule. Go look through the day's activities. There are forums and workshops and speeches and classes on things that would just absolutely knock you out. You name it, you can learn everything from how to build airplanes, how to take care of airplanes, old airplanes, new airplanes, how to buy your first jet, how to build a Peyton pole. The amount of variety, the extraordinary wealth of experience is just unreal. Do not miss an opportunity to get educated, or in the proper parlance, aero-educated. The Florida Aviation Museum, Air Museum, operating hours are from 0900 to 1700, i.e. 5 o'clock for all you civilians. It's one of Florida's finest aviation museum facilities. You need to get off your duffs, come out and take a look. There's some great stuff in there, and I've had a really good time going through it, and it gets better every time I see it. Finally, there is a sunset flight celebration also in the 7 o'clock time frame after the night air show in Paradise City, the light plane area. It's a lot of classic, a lot of light sport. It's not an aerobatic, crazy, let's go out and scare everybody to death show. It's a really calm way for real aviators to show you how cool things can be, whether it's the various folks with the powered parachutes that are all lit up and showing off their night skills on through some of the STOL demos and so forth. There's some great stuff going on, and we highly recommend that you work your way out to Paradise City. It's a great show. Finally, our thanks to Aerox again for being our sponsor of the day. If you've ever had a problem breathing heavy, these are the folks that can fix it. Boomula in particular is just about the most convenient way we've seen of getting aviators breathing oxygen to the folks who need it, i.e. especially the pilots, me, and we recommend it highly. We've played with the unit ourselves, and this is one slick bit of work. And that's it. This is the last morning brief of the week because tomorrow we're finishing up and packing up and doing our last minute stories and this, that, and the other. So this is morning brief for day 5 of the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo. We've had some great times, great interviews, and it is produced by the best working staff in aviation journalism, folks who are credible, hardworking, and know that real aviation journalism is honest, it's credible, and it tells people what they need to know no matter what. Nathan Cremesino, our chief videographer, is running the video show here. We've got Annie Byers behind the camera here making faces at, well, not too many faces today, but, well, okay. She wasn't making faces, folks. And we've got this phenomenal editorial and video staff, great folks working their hearts out. If you see any of them with the Aero-News or Sun and Fun Digital Daily shirts or caps, be sure to stop by, say hi, say thanks, tell them what a great job they're doing, because I never do. And more important than anything else, just know that there are people who are here who, if you can't make it to Sun and Fun, we're going to tell you what's cool. If you are here, we can help focus you on the things that you should be looking at. And representing Sun and Fun is a great event that's going to be even greater in the future, and we can't wait to do this all again next year for the 50th. You've already heard from Gene that the innovation preview is on for next year, and we're already thinking of ways to make that bigger, better, badder, like everything else. There will be a morning brief, there will be airborne, the Sport Plane Resource Guide will be a year old by then, and there's just a tremendous amount of stuff in the works, and we're looking forward to presenting all that to you. So again, check out Sun and Fun Digital Daily, SNFDD.com, Aero-News.net, AERO-NEWS.net, especially today because it's our annual April 1st episodes, and the writing got a little crazy. We take everything so seriously every other day of the year, but on April 1st we have fun. We think you will too, especially if you see the open cockpit 1/8 scale A380. We think that's the best story of the bunch. Again, thank you, SNFDD.com, Aero-News.net. I'm Jim Campbell for the Aero-News Network, Airborne, Morning Brief, Innovation Preview, and whatever else we can think of. Oh yeah, Sport Plane Resource Guide. We thank you so much. We will see you at Oshkosh. We'll see you at AEA on the 24th of this month now. And Oshkosh for sure with an even bigger lineup. Thanks so much. Take it away.
The Aero-News Network Sun and Fun Digital Daily Morning Brief, live from Lakeland, Florida, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
It's toxic to fly hypoxic. Smart pilots want their oxygen close at hand, so they're never impaired. That's why Aerox is proud to introduce the Boomula, the first headset-mounted oxygen-conserving cannula designed to make hypoxia impairment obsolete. The Boomula easily attaches to any headset and can be used with almost any portable or installed oxygen system. Find the Boomula at leading Aerox distributors or at aerox.com.
Unbridled passion, unequaled performance, unlimited possibilities.
Hartzell Aviation, you are cleared for takeoff.
Introducing Hartzell Aviation, leading general aviation companies united by the Hartzell guiding principle of built on honor, a commitment to uphold the highest standards in quality, performance, and support. Hartzell Propeller, Hartzell Engine Tech, Hartzell Aerospace Welding. We are Hartzell Aviation.
Now boarding at hartzellaviation.com.
We're really looking forward to seeing you live and in person at Sun and Fun in Florida.
Now, if you can't join us in Florida, we have some great deals for you that you can take advantage of right from your home.
You can take 23% off any King Schools course from right now through April 6th. Just go to our website, kingschools.com, and use the code word FLY.
Vantage is Avidyne's family of all new flight display systems for retrofit and forward fit applications. Initial certification will be Vantage 12, retrofit glass for legacy Cirrus aircraft. Vantage 12 brings advanced capabilities and adds new life to Cirrus aircraft, including large 12-inch diagonal hybrid touchscreen displays, 3D synthetic vision, and split screen capabilities. Additional Vantage programs will be announced in the future.
Calculating carbon monoxide.